you're just sitting there like, she didn't fucking say it like that! She didn't say it like that! Yeah. So now everybody's just like scared shitless. You know? Because I guess if women ran the world, there'd be no war. Evidently, there'd be no due process either. So you just gotta sit there going, You can't do it. You're a man. Look, you can agree with it, you can empathize, sympathy, you can do all of that shit, but you can't be it any more than I can stand here and just be like, I'm a Black Panther. Fight the power. And then I walk out the door, a blue-eyed white dude, and I get to live that fucking life, right? I don't know, ladies. I don't buy it. Maybe you do, I don't. Anytime I hear a guy say I'm a male feminist, I always just think that is the most pathetic, limp dick way ever to try and get some, right? Yeah. How the fuck do you, what's that?
Ask for consent.
Ask for consent? Doesn't that take the move? Well, Jesus, that kind of took it in a weird way. Dude, whatever the fuck I was saying, however you heard it, that's not what the fuck I'm saying, all right? You know, I really listened to this Me Too movement. I think for the first time in my life, I'm gonna ask for consent. We're gonna have to go hard on this one, right? We had a great fucking time. Now, I don't know how I would hit today. I would just be like, all right, I know what you want to do, but like, you're gonna have to do it. You understand? Like, I'm just gonna stand here and then you just back into me however hard you want. You control how hard you're backing into me. Then I'm gonna lay my hand on your shoulder. You can put your ponytail in it. I will slowly close my hand around it. And if any point you want to yank your head like that, law within the last 2.5 years got sexually assaulted in this business by a woman. Yeah. And this is my story. I feel like I can live my truth and be brave tonight and share this with you. It's 100% true fucking story. I was doing stand-up. I was doing a private gig. All right? Private gigs are the fucking worst. You do a public gig, anybody can show up. It broadens what you can talk about. Like it was nothing. Just fucking pow. It just kept... I couldn't fucking believe it. I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh, is this a friend of yours? Was she flirting with you? Was this a joke? None of the above. You know what it was? I swear to God, it was like a bully vibe. Like she was trying to get in my head. Like, there you go, you little red dick. Poof, follow that. And she just kept walking. Dude, my first thought as I saw her walking away, I just wanted to punch her in the back of the head as hard as humanly.
Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know, a lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came. The world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! My entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Like he's Tesla. Tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. This is about... New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think 'cause you put in like a basket in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think 'cause you put in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fat back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam. That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. Add to my day.
You know, I don't get how the other Olsen twin only weighs half a pound more, but she's fucking fine. No, they're so starving, they're weak. That's why whenever they take a picture of them, you ever notice they gotta like fucking lean them up against each other? So like they don't tip over, like they're like still trying to look sexy. They're not sexy, they look like aliens. You know, it's a lot of work, but you know, I think when you meet that special someone, there's a connection, and I can't feel my legs. Let me just lean over here. You know, a woman completes a man, and some other metaphor. No, you know what freaks me out too, really? When you go to a man's house, there's nothing in there, a married guy's house. When you walk in there, there's nothing in there that even suggests a man even lives there. Christ, you're just like your mother. You're fucking out to lunch. That was my dad. No matter what he was bitching about, somehow he would make it about my mother. It would have nothing to do with her. He could somehow find a connection and spin it back. He'd have said, "Oh, is it raining out? Oh, for Christ's sake, I don't need this shit. Christ, it's the same goddamn thing with your mother. That woman is a fucking cloud hanging over my life. Anytime you got an idea, Christ, she's..." This is the worst one. You ever get this one? You want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that, right? You gotta keep them happy. So what do? You agree. Like, yeah, let's go to brunch. What a great idea. Why would you want to sleep in on a Sunday when you can go pay $18 for eggs? Nah, you're thinking. I gotta stand there with like the back of my shirt on fire going, let's go, people, let's go, let's go! So that's how I look at it. No, it's $1 an hour surcharge. That if something fucked up happens, either I can't leave or I gotta like get in the way of it to give you a head start, like rabid dog, run honey, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out, like, yes, he does have a knife. You know what I mean? You can't find them. There are no feminists in a house fire. That's a guarantee. You could take the most hardcore feminist, some chick right in your face, like, he's chauvinistic son of a bitch, little short, little haircut, the whole 9 yards, right? Second those flames break out, she's gonna twist those little hairs into pigtails. No, I'm just a girl. I wanna go play jump rope. And leave you standing in a burning house like you're not flammable. You know, but I'm not. No, not because, like, oh, you know, all that political stuff. He's just, like, too into Jesus for me. I get uncomfortable with that. When people get, like, overly religious, it kind of freaks me out, you know? You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind. I don't mind when, like, black people get really into Jesus, though, you know? Because, like, somehow, like, the shit stays spiritual. You know, you get a couple of good songs out of it. You know what I mean? People look like they're having a good time. Somehow when, like, white dudes get too into Jesus, all of a sudden, like, shit catches on fire. My girl's actually, she's really, like, religious. She goes to church every week, and I never go, and it freaks her out. She's like, why don't you go to church? You don't believe in God and heaven and hell and all that stuff? Why don't you go? And it's not because I don't believe in a higher power. I definitely do. My thing is, when I go to church, I can't get past the fact that I'm just listening to some fucking guy. You ever think of that shit when you listen to another human being tell you what to eat and when to eat it? Don't eat meat this Friday. If you eat meat this Friday, you are going to hell. It's like, dude, I'm going to a cookout on Friday. If you eat that fucking cheeseburger, buddy, that is it for you. Who is this guy? Dude, I'll eat a cheeseburger whenever I want to. And I'll jerk off. It's my dick. Why am I listening to this guy? I'll fucking jerk off while I eat a cheeseburger. What do you think about that? I'm out, okay? You guys party way too fucking hard for me, okay? I got off at about 22 exits ago. I didn't see that page in the book. I don't know what you guys are doing. I can't believe they're still in business. People are still showing up. Name one other business that could survive that shit. You think if they were fucking kids at Walmart, they could sell rakes the next day? And just try to thing. I was like happy for him, man. He was in horrible health. You know what I mean? Everybody just wanted the guy to keep hanging on. It's ridiculous. They're like wheeling him from room to room, and people are still flipping. Oh, God, I think he's gonna die. I think he's gonna die. I'm so... It's like, well, I think he's gonna go to heaven. I mean, it's gotta be better than that shit. I bet the last 2 months of his life, he was just sitting in that chair going, God, I wish the world would stop praying for me. Actually, I had this black dude moved in my building, man. Lives on the same floor as me. He's one of these dudes. Every time, he's hilarious. Every time he says some shit, right after he's done saying the shit, he repeats, like, the most important part of, like, the previous sentence. It's hilarious. Everything he said will be like, yo, my man came in, he put that shit on the table. Put it on the table! It's hilarious! No, it's like the typical white dude from, like, the suburbs, you know what I mean? Had no frame of reference, you know? So my only frame of reference with black people was like those, remember those early 90s gangster rap videos? Throw the fucking LA riots in there, man. It was fucking horrible PR. I'm watching the videos, look, he's got a nice car, he's got all the women, and he's still fucking mad. These black dudes are never happy. But after 10 years of living in the city, this is how I narrow it down. Whether a black dude scares me or not. Black dudes with dirty, feels comfortable up to about like 98th, 99th Street, you know what I'm saying? The second the streets start getting into like triple digits, like 100, 101st Street, start getting like a little asthma, like, ah, fuck, it's starting to get a little high up here. You feel that little tightness in your chest? Can you feel that? 106th Street, you're like leaning on shit, like, dude, where'd all the cabs go? How come there's no taxis up here? Dude, what's a bodega? For like 105th Street, 103rd, you know, which is like the first stop in Harlem where I can still look over my shoulder and see like all the white people like disappearing over the horizon, you know? But she goes, no, man, you want to get on the Uptown 2-3 train, you want to get off at 125th Street. I'm like, God, fuck, 125th Street. Jesus Christ, that's like right in the middle of everything. I'm going to be surrounded on all four sides. I can't fucking do this. I thought I was on like some reality show at that point, like some sort of like white guy survivor. It was ridiculous. So I'm thinking, I gotta walk right by these guys, right? You know what's funny? I think that they were actually more surprised to see me than I was scared, you know? And I was really, really scared, you know, but I'm also really, really white, you know? Like shockingly Caucasian. You know what I mean? Like if you're not ready for me, I can like surprise you. No, know, especially if...
Conscious, you'd realize that white people stole that word from black people. Once again, doing the Elvis thing, right? But you know what? I blame black people for that. One of them fucked up. They were at a party, there was white people there, and they let it slip out. Stay woke, however the fuck you say it, and some white person heard it like, oh, who is that? Oh my God. Stay woke? I want to say that. I gotta say that around my white friends. So they heightened emotion. There's some guy like, get a hold of yourself, see? Yeah, go make me a pie. Put it on the windowsill. Right? That's what he grew up watching. I grew up in the 70s. I thought being a truck driver was a cool thing. You know, you had a monkey for a friend. You're going around, chicks showing their titties. I thought that was the world. I had no idea. That's what I was watching.
Yeah, because you want to have a drink and watch The Price is Right. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. No, maybe it is. Maybe it is the most difficult job. I mean, I thought roofing in the middle of July as a redhead, you know, I thought that was a difficult job. But evidently, these mothers, they're bending over at the waist, putting DVDs into DVD players. I don't know how they do it.
He changed the world. Doesn't say. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear. Right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know. I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around here. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window. Their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof. Just remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. Trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad.
Guy's cool, you're talking about the game, then all of a sudden he's just like, you know, there's no gold behind our currency. You realize that? You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Pick up your drink, just fucking walk away. Oh, that's what I'm becoming. Totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama's going to win the election. I think they're going to let him win. Because they're in the process of bankrupting this country, and I think that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see? You see?
That makes sense to me. I'm sick of them telling me shit is shocking, that it's completely obvious. Crocodile hunter dies. Oh, can you fucking... Yes, I can totally believe it. It's why I watched the show. I watched it every week because I knew eventually he was going to fucking die, and I wanted to see it. Right?
Oh, I like that dog, the bounty hunter video, or the phone message he left. You know, people are like, can you believe he left that? Damn, look at dog. Here it is. I thought he was some racist on his way to a steak and shake, and he's busting out a little Beethoven. God damn, I owe this guy an apology, you know? God, I'd love to see his iPod. I can't imagine the eclectic mix of music. There's so much time I spend alone on the road, man. I actually spent so much time alone on the road, actually like contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. I'm sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, you know? Oh, we should rescue one. You want to do that? I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, why not? I go, because I think a lot of those dogs they're a little fucked in the head. Yeah, how do you think they ended up down there? It's like, dude, that's not a pet store. That's like doggy death row, all right? Why don't we just go to a prison and like adopt an inmate on the off chance that maybe they didn't commit the crime, you know, just roll the dice? Dude, fuck that. I want a brand new 2008 Bulldog, all right? I don't want some... What are they going to do with the dog? They're going to take him right back down to the prison like some repeat offender, have like shackles on him and stuff. He's just sitting there hopping back in. We knew you'd be back. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Get me a milk bone, you know? Wheel him in like Hannibal Lecter with like that lampshade around his neck. I got to work on my temper, though. Something I really got to do. I let like the thoughts chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Well, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile indie stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, that blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I going to do? Call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Hey, Michelle said to bring him back. Oh, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my mind. I mean, she became a senator. She went from being the president's wife to being a senator. Just like that. Lateral move. It's like what? You hanging out? You just pick it up? I sucked at sports and then I banged Tom Brady and I don't know what happened. I just picked up a ball. I started lacing it. I'm leading receivers. It was incredible. I knew it was going to be like this. You know what's funny? There's actually people out there that think a woman being president is actually a good idea. Yeah. They just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You ever get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that diet. You got to keep her happy, right? So what do? You agree? Yeah, let's go to brunch. See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. There are no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminist, you know, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, you know, little short, little haircut, you know. Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. Oh, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope.
People did this shit? I remember this one poor woman said she was a PA, went into some director's trailer, and he allegedly came running out, masturbating vigorously while holding a shrimp cocktail. I swear to God. I know that's fucked up, but I gotta tell you something. It's a little bit funny that she felt the need to use the adjective vigorously after she said he was masturbating. And about, I don't know, 6 months in, they just sounded like bad dates. It was like, he was 10 minutes late, the chicken was cold, I think I was raped, career over. What about my side of the story? Fuck your side of the story! You have a dick and balls, we don't want to hear it! Yeah. It's really weird how the whole thing, it went from like nobody listening, men not listening to women at all, to just this total overcorrection that anything they fucking said means it happens, you know? They got these it's a little open-ended, huh? Just straight across the fucking board? All of them? Every last fucking one of them? What about the psychos? What about the ones that key your car and light your shit on fire because you didn't fucking answer a text? What about them? Huh? How about you believe like 88% and that last 12% that's out of their fucking minds? You know, I think that's a fair percentage, wouldn't you? No? Are you too afraid to not believe? I know, that's the world we're fucking living in right now. Did you see Star Wars? I mean, somebody made that up. They made like fucking 15 of them, you know? People can make shit up, right? You're part of the fucking problem! Get the fuck out! You know? No means no, that's another one. No means no. It's like, no it doesn't. All right? Look, no means no. No, that means no, all right? But no, stop it, what are you doing? Oh my God! You're being so bad.
You know, more and more chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? And then he goes, hey, you know, I'm actually think it's kind of pretty nice. Wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the up. I need a plumber in this moment. I'll extend an olive branch here. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, you, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, it blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like,
Shot, I saw him in another movie. I mean, what the fuck is going on? No, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But I think white women started it. The fucking worst. It's all they do is bitch, moan, and complain. I had no idea how different.
Now, you can hug your daughters. You gotta do that. You gotta do that. Hug those hooker shoes right out of them. Let them know that you're a good man and to find another man like you. You gotta do that. But your son, you can hug him a little bit, but every 3-4, you gotta fucking knock him down, right? Come on, it didn't hurt. Get up. Look, I didn't come from a family. I don't know about you guys. I didn't come from a touchy-feely. Call me when you get there. The one time when I finally got out in the world and I saw how other families interacted, I finally asked her one day, I was like, how come we never did the hugging thing? You know what I mean? How come we didn't do that stuff? She's like, well, I wanted to hug you kids when you were little, but I was afraid it was going to make you gay. And I was like, you were afraid? You were afraid? And then she goes, well, it was your father. That's what it was. Protecting him like I always do. He was afraid. He said, you don't know how to raise boys. And if you hug them, that's what's going to happen. So in a marriage, there's compromises. So hugged us because my dad said if she did, it was going to make us gay. And I got to tell you, that was a great thing that my dad did for me. Let me finish before you start blogging, okay? And I end up on a split screen on Good Morning Atlanta, you know? Comedy, can it go too far? Last night was a tabernacle. Sitting there next to some fucking Cheeto-eating blogger. And maybe someday I have a kid, I'll whittle it down to like, hey, he's not taking drama class, all right? He's not taking drama class because I said so, lady! Let me handle it! I won't fix everything. Yeah, and that's not a homophobic thing either, that I wouldn't send my hypothetical son to drama class, okay? It isn't. I'd let my hypothetical daughter take a drama class, okay? My son can't fucking do it. I don't want to do that. I want to find the fucking 8-year-old. What is he, this tall? I want to find the kid that did it to my kid, tip him upside down into some sand or a puddle, anywhere where oxygen is going to be an issue, right? And just leave him there. Right? And you wait till that one leg just starts shaking so you know he's down to his last breath. And then you turn him upside down, you're upside right, you grab him by his throat, and you just say something horrific. You ever do that again, I'm going to beat your mother to death with the family dog. Right? Over. Yeah, I got married. That's the big thing. Yes, I did. Very happy about that. I'm very happy with that because it was starting to get weird, you know? It's like 45 years old. Oh, my girlfriend. Yeah, we're going to go out and get some pop, you know? Going to parties. It was just weird because I hang out with people my age, you know, and they all got married. They all had kids. And I just couldn't contribute when people were standing around talking about marriages and kids, you know?
I am a changed person, believe it or not. I am. I had an experience earlier this year. This is all true. Now, you don't think so? Some guy just yelled bullshit. Are you saying bullshit, sir, because you don't believe me or because you don't want me to leave? Is that what it is? The little angry circle that you're in? Don't be going and getting happy now. Don't be going and getting soft on me. Don't start hugging people and loving yourself. And crying when you see something cute still under the sink doing. No, I took mushrooms back in February. For the first time ever. No. This is the perfect state to tell this story. You guys should literally have mushrooms on your fucking license plate. All right, so here's the deal. I never fucked with anything like that. I was always a booze guy. I was a booze guy. And everybody. I always get nervous when I get white guys going like, yeah, all right, woo, all right, build the wall. All right, all right. I'm fucking around. Relax. It's frightening to listen to, but that's what being a guy is. You're not allowed to have emotions. So that's all of that shit comes out when you drink. Do something dumb so I don't feel stupid. So, yeah, I was always like a blues guy, so like I never fucked with like psychedelics or whatever. So I think, you know, it was just one of those deals. I was out in the desert, man, and I was like, all right, I got somebody watching my kids. Everything's fine. I'm in my 50s. I got to do it now or I'm never going to do it, right? So this person who may or may not have been my opening act tonight goes, all right, man. He's a good man. He's a good man. The other one, and then rub the other one and let it absorb in your face or whatever. So I'm like, all right. He goes, how far into it do you want to go? I go, I just want to trip a little bit, nothing fucking crazy. So he goes, fine. So I eat just a little bit. So I get a little nauseous or whatever. At first it feels like I ate some weed, but then all of a sudden, like I notice shit that's not alive, looks like it's breathing, right? Like the refrigerator looked like it just Did a lap around the house. And kind of... Nothing threatening, you know? It's just like, you know, it needed it. I was just like, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. This is why I didn't do it. I knew I had too many demons. I knew I wasn't going to see God and fucking unicorns and slide down the rainbow and roll around in the grass. I fucking knew Satan was coming up. There was going to be a guy with a knife and shit. I was just like, all right, go ahead. Drag me into the abyss. Let me see how fucked up I am. And this feeling, it just enveloped me. And I don't even know how to describe it. Just playing it off, right? Go into the fucking bedroom, and I'm just laying down in the bedroom like, dude, what the fuck? What the fuck? And every time I thought I felt the bottom, it would just further into the bed, further into the bed, further into the bed. So about a half hour later, my wife comes in. She's like, hey, how you doing? Typical guy. Great. You love this person, you know, you still want to fucking run around like a Mustang a little bit, right? So anyways, I'm like, okay, I was like, dude, I was freaking me out even more to think of my wife and be feeling that. So I was like, fuck, I need to pull the ripcord. I gotta get out of this. I gotta get out of this fucking, it's like a giant beanbag. I couldn't get out of it, right? So I was like, oh, fuck. Think about your kids. Think about your kids. Now, my kids, I love my kids. And I know they love me. There is no fucking question. And I start thinking about my kids. And I still felt that feeling.
To catch a predator guy to come walking out, like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? No, sit down. That show To Catch a Predator, man, that is horrible PR for white people, huh? Jesus Christ. Can they move that show to an urban area every once in a while? Just catch a couple of R. Kelly's peeing on some kids, you know? Just balance it out a little bit. It's like, does every dude walking in that house got to look like me? Like, hey, I'm here to fucking 8-year-old. How are you?
Yeah, I don't pay attention to shit. I don't know what's going on, right? I feel like that. I mean, I kind of know what's going on. Like, I know Gaza Strip, that's still going, right? Yeah, all right. Okay, that's going on. Well, did you pick a side? Who deserves to live more, right? I hate that shit. Well, these kids, they more line. I kind of know what's going on. Like, I know Gaza Strip, that's still going, right? Yeah, all right. Okay, that's going on. Well, did you pick a side? Who deserves to live more, right? I hate that shit. Well, these kids, they more line up with our foreign policy than these kids over here. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know. How the fuck is war still legal in 2024? Can you, the body shame, I mean, It's like, yeah, it is. I can't get the fucking pizza back. At least I can make him feel bad about himself, right? Yeah, I'm not allowed to do that, but it's still socially acceptable to shoot a missile in the general direction of somebody you're upset with. You're like, dude, there was like kids over there. This is my favorite response. Well, you know, they're using kids as human shields. It's off the grass, all right? There's fucking rules to this shit. I do think it's hilarious that college kids are all freaking out, you know, fucking supporting the Palestinians. How dare the Israelis do what our country has been doing for 20 years? What the fuck? You don't do that shit, we do.
Huh? Zippitydoodah.com?
You got it.
Huh? You motherfucker.
That's
you
it.
have me on your show and you start trashing my DVD?
You're a sensitive man.
Bill, thanks so much for being here. I love this show. You're one of my
thank you.
favorite comedians. I'm excited to talk to you.
Well, I'm excited to be here. These chairs are horrific. This is designed for like, I don't know what age. It's not like 6 to 8, like when you're 11. This is like the perfect size. It's not quite adult size. It's not kid size.
You know, obviously you're a writer, but you've never really written on a sitcom before. If you go through your credits, you hadn't really been on a show before.
Why'd you have to bring that up? Just right out of the gate, he goes negative. Never really saw you write on anything before, Bill. There was all these other nice things on your IMDb page I could have brought up, but I noticed this one glaring thing that you've never done, and right out of the gate. Was it because I made fun of the chairs? I'm sorry.
Here in the MLB Fan Cave hanging out with actor-comedian Bill Burr. I like that you said actor.
See, you did so bad, one of our guests is about to quit. I don't know what else to tell you.
Oh, if there's a negative lining, Tony will find it. There it is, right between the ray of sunshine. There's that little nugget of negativity, you fucking cunt. Smarmy fucking cunt. Jesus Christ.
If we went to a movie together, would we sit next to each other? Would you want a seat between us?
You know, oh, Jesus.
Because that's a tough
I'd want to sit like 9 rows behind you and just...
You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs. Are these like from the 20s before they had like horse tranquilizers in our food? When everybody was like 5'1"?
Yeah,
It's funny when you said we won. I'm like, did we really win? But I understand what you're saying. Now,
is that African American thing?
Yeah.
I don't want to alarm you, but I don't think that... Overpowering.
How you doing?
You know what he looks like? He looks like the first guy who gets his ass kicked in a Steven Seagal movie. No! The background guy behind the big kingpin. Why don't you handle this? Where you guys from?
We live here.
You live here. How the hell did you end up here?
Work.
Long story. Shifty. Felonies?
Yes.
Is that a Rolex?
Yes, it is. I finally bought one. 25 years in this business.
Is it white gold or stainless?
I don't know what it is.
Is it heavy?
No, guarantee you. Blonde hair, you'd be over here giving me your watch. This is the only way you can be comfortable in these fucking chairs. This is like in the middle of my back. Oh my God, I love you, but I hate this set. This is the lowest budget shit. You know what it is? It's the rent. It's the fucking rent. You did all this stuff. You should get rid of that camera and get some chairs.
What kind of chair would you prefer?
Comfortable, adult-sized chair.
You want me to be a suspect me for that?
No, I don't. Your big dumb desk hiding behind your microphone.
I respect you for keeping it real, Colin.
Yeah, I kept it 100.
What about when you call somebody out and then have them in front of you? That's punk. Can't do
No,
that.
but then you can actually just admit that you're wrong when the guy's delivering, because now he's delivering, he's still trashing.
Well, yeah, he's not admitting that he's wrong.
Let me
Yeah.
jump in.
Yeah. Here he
Yeah,
comes.
get in the middle, 2 studs.
Here comes homeschool. Look, he's got on buckle shoes.
I know.
I bet he made those. He went to one of those little house in the prairie schools where, like, the person.
But I fucking Bill.
I'm
You know
just
what I mean?
immediately noticing that I don't know about the chain if it's thick enough to be that level of confidence.
Yeah,
It's more of a necklace.
when the chain's out.
Yeah, he has on a fat chick ankle bracelet around his fucking neck.
Well, I just hate the Jets, straight up. Being a Patriots fan, I hate their whole slogan, play like a jet.
Play like a jet?
Play like a jet. Why would you say that? They haven't won in like 50 years. Why don't you play like a Patriot?
People did this shit? I remember this one poor woman said she was a PA, went into some director's trailer, and he allegedly came running out, masturbating vigorously while holding a shrimp cocktail. I swear to God. I know that's fucked up, but I gotta tell you something. It's a little bit funny that she felt the need to use the adjective vigorously after she said he was 10 minutes late, the chicken was cold, I think I was raped, career over. What about my side of the story? Fuck your side of the story. You have a dick and balls. We don't want to hear it. Yeah. It's really weird how the whole thing, it went from like nobody listening, men not listening to women at all, to just this total overcorrection that anything they fucking said means it happens, you know? They got these hashtags like, you know, believe women. Believe women. Just straight across the fucking board. All of them. Every last fucking one of them. What about the psychos? What about the ones that key your car and light your shit on fire because you didn't fucking answer a text? What about them? Huh? How about you believe like 88% and that last 12% that's out of their fucking minds? You know, I think that's a fair percentage, wouldn't you? No? Are you too afraid to not believe? No, I know. That's the world we're fucking living in right now. National anthem. This is a protest about police brutality, the way people of color are treated. We'd like to open a dialogue. He got about halfway through and people are like, my brother's fighting in Iraq, you fucking piece of shit! It's just like, buddy, nobody is saying your brother isn't in Iraq fighting. You're not listening. This is about police brutality. My brother's a firefighter. He watched 9/11 on television. No, buddy. Nobody's saying that
That your brother's not a firefighter. I had a bone spur in my heel. I can still stand up during the fucking song. Buddy, nobody is saying you can't, all right? You're not listening. That's what it became. It went from not listening to women to just believe women, right? And then, you know, and then people just like, did you see that story? Did you read the story? You can't make something like that up. I always want to be like, well, did you see Star Wars? I mean, somebody made that up. They made like fucking 15 of them, you know? People can make shit up, right? You're part of the fucking problem. Get the fuck out, you know?
No lesbian? I mean, I have gay friends, but I've never noticed any sort of a through line. Listen, people, I'm not saying all lesbians look alike. I would never say some ignorant shit like that. However, I am saying, though, every once in a while, there's a fucking layup. Flat top, wallet chain, fucking walking up the street. Right? But even then, I'm not saying 100%
Catholic, but, you know, I can't be Catholic anymore, you know? I mean, once they started fucking the kids, I was just like, all right, dude, you know what? I'm out, okay? You guys party way too fucking hard for me, okay? I didn't see that page in the book. I don't know what you guys are doing. I can't believe they're still in business. People are still showing up. Name one other business that could survive that shit. You think if they were fucking kids at Walmart, they could sell rakes the next day? And just try to play it off like, yeah, we hit a little problem in aisle 8, but, you know, we got some slacks over here. Charge. Anything beyond this, I got to get a real man to look at it. But I believe in you. I'm try and help you out. Let's have a little empathy here. Put yourself in a lesbian's shoes. Who do lesbians date? Women. Who do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually marry? Women. And I was thinking like, oh my God, I did that. I know what it's like to live with one of those fucking things. I know exactly what that's. It's hopeless. Trying to make them happy. And I'm watching this documentary as a white dude, which is what I am. I'm looking out my white head, watching this white shit that's coming back into my white eyes, getting whiter by the fucking second. Right? Now, my wife, on the other hand, she's black, right? Now, I hate saying that because it makes it seem like I'm going to start doing some stupid comparison jokes. You know, those dumb white guy, black guy jokes? And it's always like the white guy's like, oh, Jesus, I gotta do my taxes. Can this chair hold me? Like I'm going to start doing some stupid comparison jokes. You know, those dumb white guy, black guy jokes? And it's always like the white guy's like, oh, Jesus, I gotta do my taxes. Can this chair hold me? The black guy's always like, you need to loosen up. You gotta relax, man. You just gotta let it happen. All right? It's always the same stupid fucking joke. I hate those jokes, you know, because they're easy. And it's been my experience that it's just not true. You know, 15 years of being with her, there's, you know, because at the end of the day, it's a woman. All right? So now it's like I'm in this weird place where I'm not in any religion right now. Unrestricted free agent. You know? I'd like to believe in something, so I've been going around asking people what this shit is, and I haven't been able to find anything. I'm trying to be open-minded. I was doing a gig in Helsinki, and over there, and that's it. Dead. Like a pigeon, just laying there. Over. Blew my mind. I'm like, really? You're just dead like this? You don't... Like my religion was, you know, you die and then you go up to get judged, right? God pops in the DVD, your life, oh, I don't know about this right here. Mind explaining yourself? Actually, I have this black dude moved in my building, man, lives on the same floor as me. He's one of these dudes, every time he's hilarious. Every time he says some shit, right after he's done saying the hilarious. Every time he says some shit, right after he's done saying the shit, he repeats like the most important part of like the previous sentence. It's hilarious. Everything he said will be like, yo, my man came in, he put that shit on the table. Put it on the table! Yo, this country's at war, son. War! I'm just looking at my friend like, dude, did you hear him the first time? Because I heard him the first time. I was smiling, I was nodding. Actually, I got a couple of friends of African persuasion. I got to get rid of them, man. I got to admit to you. I'm finding I'm spending too much money on clothes hanging out with them. It's like every time they go out, they got all brand new shit on. So actually, I got a couple of friends of African persuasion. I got to get rid of them, man. I got to admit to you. I'm finding I'm spending too much money on clothes hanging out with them. It's like every time they go out, they got all brand new shit on. So when I show up with my white version of brand new, which is, you know, I iron the shit, right?
I ironed it, right? It's new. They just start trashing me. And I don't give a shit what fucked up color their shirt is. They got a pair of shoes to match it and a hat. It's like a rule or something. Because God forbid you wear the same shirt within a 10-day period. One of them's going to notice. All of a sudden just look at you funny like...
You're not allowed to compete with people with real legs in the Olympics because not having legs is now more of an advantage than having real legs. Doctors make better legs than God. All right, your calves and your feet flopping around are no match for a couple of sickles. These people just skiing down the fucking street. You get them by some train tracks that go downhill, you're never going to see them again. A soccer games. You're playing in a 20,000-seat arena. 1,500 people show up. That's not a good night. The promoter lost his fucking ass on that gig. I'm not saying no professional female athletes, Serena Williams, the women in the UFC, you know, but nobody's watching your fucking sport. And then you're going to come and you're going to get mad at fucking men. They keep doing that shit. Why are you yelling at us?
All right, tonight's guest is one of the most talented comedians around and my all-time favorite comic. He's an actor. You've seen him on Chappelle's Show, Breaking Bad, and the movie The Heat. I am personally grateful to him because he helped me get this show on the air by appearing on the pilot. Please give a warm welcome to my good friend, Bill Burr, everybody! Bill Burr!
Chair here.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, it's your show. You're tall.
Yeah, I know. I
sort
don't
of
want to bring,
average.
but we seem like the same. Like, look in the monitor. That's about right.
I look uncomfortable.
Actually, that was an internet comment I saw that was like, they said, when I see people in high chairs pretending to have like a casual conversation and never addressing the fact that they're in these preposterous high chairs.
There should be a high top bar here with like potato skins.
Doesn't that feel?
Yeah, you have like that, like, I don't know if it's me, but you're so happy, sometimes it bothers me. It does. It's just like, all right, I get it. The sun is shining. Just take it down a little bit. Like, I get actually anxiety around people as happy as you. It's like,
is that right?
I can't hit the ball back, dude. I can't sustain. It's a rally. You come into the net with your happiness. I'm just like, this is over. He's going to smash it right at me. And then they just think like, oh, he's like that 24/7, screaming and yelling. And that's not true. I mean, it is definitely a chunk of my day. No, I don't like being, angry. I don't want to be that guy. I'd like to be jolly, but it hasn't been in the cards so far. I try to be.
Well, we were going to have you on the first week. We were going to have you on the first week, but then you went and got married.
Yeah.
Which I
finally grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah, what they're walking into. I can't wait. I don't wish this on anybody, but when the gay divorces start coming in, they're really going to step back, I think, being like, what the hell were we wishing for here? I could have sent him a card on his deathbed. I didn't. It really wasn't worth that.
Because they can't.
That was their big thing. I can't go and say goodbye when they're dying. But that's if you make it. But it's literally like, as far as marriage is working, that's like the sperm making it to the egg. The gay dude who's not doing shit is going to get all this stuff and be like, oh, I'm used to a certain lifestyle, right? And then the gay guy who's killing it, he's going to go back to the studio apartment, calling it right now. Calling it right now. It's going to be horrible.
So you're
going to be great. It'll bring straights and gays closer together. Just start like a divorce bar, like all people welcome. And you just compare notes, like what's more horrific? Oh, stronger. They just sort of rest stuff. You guys are taking this really seriously. Like, does he really think that's how gay people break up? I'm just messing around. He introduced me as a comedian. Right? Am I going to have to go on split screen with a blogger tomorrow? Right? Comedy, can it go too far?
We're going to come back with more of Bill Burr. There's no way we're ending this. Billy Burr, our first 2-act interview.
There you go. What are you going to do? Like, you're going to come back. Like, how much time? Like, Ted Williams just has his head frozen. That wasn't his choice. Like, how long is that head going to be frozen before they they have a cure for having no body. You know? So let's just say they come up with it. A cure. You're going to be like, I mean, I already like you lost a fight 3 days ago, you're just getting back on your feet. Makes no sense. I understand liposuction. They mess that up, you can put a shirt on. There's no shirt for your face. Dude, if you're thinking about getting a facelift, do yourself a favor. Just wait it out. Let them practice on other people's faces. When they work it out, then you go in. It's like hair plugs. Hair plugs don't look half bad now. I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, going like, I don't understand, how come female athletes don't make as much as male professional athletes? Right? And all of these men had to sit there and act like they didn't know what the answer was. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, I don't know. Why is that? So we used to always have these dumbass arguments. Like one time she came up to me, she goes, okay, explain this to me, Bill. Why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job, huh? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay. Hey, that's why I get the $1 more an hour. Well, think about it. If there's a house face, like he's chauvinistic son of a bitch, little short, little haircut, the whole 9 yards, right? Second those flames break out, she's gonna twist those little hairs into pigtails. No, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. And leave you standing in a burning house like you're not flammable. You know, but I'm not a dick though. I'm not saying I think a woman should make $1 less an hour to do the same job. All I'm saying is if you're gonna make like overly religious, it kind of freaks me out, you know? You know what I mean? Like I don't mind when like black people get really into Jesus though, you know? Because like somehow like the shit stays spiritual. You know, you get a couple of good songs out of it. You know what I mean? People look like they're having a good time. Somehow when like white dudes get too into Jesus, all of a sudden like shit catches on fire. People start dying, somebody says they're Jesus, and they try to fuck every chick in the compound. My girl's actually, she's really like religious. She goes to church every week, and I never go, and it freaks her out. She's like, why don't you go to church? You don't believe in God, and heaven and hell, and all that stuff? Why don't you go? And it's not because I don't believe in a higher power. I definitely do. My thing is when I go to church, I can't get past the fact that I'm just listening to some fucking guy. You ever think of that shit when you go in there? No, they got too much energy for me. You ever notice that's it? They always have to be doing something. You know, like they can't like take a day off, you know? You can't have a day off when you have a girlfriend. They just like see that open day. They're like, oh my God, let's fucking fill it up with shit. They just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You ever get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. They had no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminists, you know, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, you know, little short, little haircut, you know. Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. No, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope.
And then also, you can't tell other people's kids not to do stuff. Right. So you got to kind of like be loudly like, hey, he's climbing up on the utility pole, and kind of hope that somebody does something. Well, back in the day, you could yell at people's kids, and I think that needs to come back. And that's what's holding back this country. Yeah. Long story short, Hugh Jackman plays the part of Gary Hart, and he was amazing. And I had a really fun scene where we were tailing him, we were chasing him down this alley. But he's a big guy, he's like 6'4", and he's ripped. And we went down the alley, and his character's mad at our character, and he just turned around and looked at us. And for half a second, I was like, oh, that's Wolverine. And I literally... I legit got scared. And he's a big guy, you know? So what's funny in this scene is as the reporter, I have like a notebook and I dropped it. And after the screening, we went to the Toronto Film Festival and all. What's funny in this scene is as the reporter, I have like a notebook and I dropped it. And after the screening, we went to the Toronto Film Festival and all these actors are coming up to me. I love the choice you made. I love the choice you made to drop the notebook. I go, no, dude, that was real. I was like...
A Rolex?
Yes, it is. I finally bought one. 25 years in this business.
Is it white gold or stainless?
I don't know what it is.
Is it heavy?
No.
Then it's stainless.
Oh, is that what it is? Well, thank you. Thank you for taking my watch down a notch. I finally...
Gonna take a four-wheeler!
So your Christian background is part of the show. Or at
Yes,
least
and
two
I wanted
episodes.
to talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is some people
You are the whitest person I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, served me well. I've never worked for anything. Yeah, I was born on a yacht. It's just all been downhill.
I don't even mean it in. I don't mean it in a genetic way. I mean like.
I do. I'm talking full-on white privilege. Did you just go to the Illuminati and help them build your robot replacement?
Being a mother is the hardest job out there.
Most difficult job, and Oprah said that.
Oprah said that, yeah. Has your opinion on that phrase changed at all since you've had a kid?
No. It's not the most difficult job on the planet. It just isn't. Dude, I did roofing in July. As a redhead, I almost died. Thing blows up. They're on fire. They got to jump into water that's on fire. Salty water into their wounds. You got to swim out of that oil and fire and then tread water, praying to God that the Coast Guard is going to get there before the sharks do. Now talk to me about a toddler. Oh, he was so fussy today. He wouldn't eat his peas. Yeah, and just the level of reward that is, as annoying as a kid is, like they smile at you and it's over. It's over. So, I mean, you don't get that, working on an oil rig when your buddy's greasy face lights up. Yeah, you know what? It really is all worth it. At some point, I was going to make a point here. That's why I keep looking at here, and I just realize I'm blocking myself out of the camera. I love that you have the jib camera for this, like it's an action movie. Let's swoop in at these two guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. Action movie. Let's swoop in at these two guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. I literally feel like I'm going to fall onto the floor. This is insane. You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs. Are these like from the 20s before they had like horse tranquilizers in our food? When everybody was like 5'1"?
What did you say about the military that got people so mad? Or this one guy so mad?
I was just saying, the guy who flies the fighter jet.
What did you say about the military that got people so mad? Or this one guy so mad?
I was just saying, the guy who flies the fighter jet, okay, and has missile shot at him, that guy's a hero. However, if you're the guy that points in the direction that the plane takes off in, you know what I mean?
Oh, I shouldn't have to wear a mask. I don't want to wear a mask. I don't buy it. And then there are people that...
I love those people.
What?
Yeah,
you like the people that flip out?
Yeah, don't wear it.
Yeah.
Don't wear it. Go kill yourself. It's awesome. Because I have to be honest with you, I know those people.
What?
Yeah,
you like the people that flip out?
Yeah, don't wear it.
Yeah.
Don't wear it. Go kill yourself. It's awesome. Because I have to be honest with you, I know a lot of people died from COVID, but I'm starting to see the traffic come back, and I selfishly thought I wish it killed a few more.
All right. So
Yes, I am.
second season, the deepest couch in sports entertainment. A lot of people think that they're uncomfortable with my elevation. Are you uncomfortable with it?
No, I just see all of your insecurities.
Knocking it out of the park. He's one of my favorites. Here is Bill Burr. Look at you.
How are you?
Oh, it's
I
good
love
to-
that you did the audience applause for everybody. Yeah, there he is. Come on. Keep it going for him.
You just had the baby, right?
Yeah, little Friday morning. I didn't. My wife did. I didn't do anything. I felt unbelievably useless. I was in total panic mode. When I dropped her off at the... Of course I wouldn't, but I started laughing. Isn't there like a Bruce Springsteen song about that? Going out to get cigarettes and there's something hilarious about people abandoning their family where I just can't imagine like the hell that you would be in to do that move. But just knowing you were going to do it, like the level of excitement that you would have before, like, okay, I'm gonna go get some cigarettes. And I'm never gonna see you people again, your mother-in-law. Their socks and their shoes off on the plane. You got to look at their smelly feet, and then they'll literally stand up and they will walk into a commercial airline bathroom. Yeah, use it and then walk and sit back down again.
That's not right.
Yeah, if I was a dictator, those people would be eliminated.
A lot coming from the Hillary Clinton camp that Trump is bad for children. And they had a lot of ads that said, you know, children are watching this guy.
Oh, we all know
talk.
that children 5 and 6 years old are always tuning into the debates.
That, you know, children are watching this guy.
Oh, we all know
talk.
that children 5 and 6 years old are always tuning into the debates.
Taking notes. That's what I did when I was a kid. I'll never forget that.
So this is very like, we're very like, you know, you wouldn't know that we like each other. Let's try to tone it down.
No, I'm not. I'm just.
No,
what happened?
You came right at me just saying my theories stunk. I'm just here to promote a cartoon. I'm a dancing monkey today. I'm trying to be a good guy. I want people to like me and watch the show.
0.5. This is the worst interview I've ever done. And he's wearing Stetson cologne or something. It's just really overpowering.
How you doing?
You know what he looks like? He looks like the first guy who gets his ass kicked in a Steven Seagal movie. No, the background guy behind the big kingpin. Why don't you handle this?
Like, there's a danger to buying that car. That big yellow, they see that big yellow prancing pony, and they just come out, they come up out of the manhole covers, all these gold diggers. I can tell if it's rented or not. They know where to look for the sticker. I don't know how to do that. Oh, there we go. No, but now this is like the ego one. Now I'm going to be sitting above you. You got to come with two. It's fine. It's fine. Sir, the one comedy through line that's working here is me shitting on this chair. Why would you take that from me? You're just totally going against the grain. I understand it. But you got on camera, so I think you get paid, even though this is online.
I got to tell you how I discovered you. I'm going to allow this to happen. Yeah. I'm just going to plug away. You know what I mean?
Listen, you can talk to him all you want. I can hear it.
Bill, how are you?
What's going on? Oh, thank you. Thank you, all 7 of you. And the 4 Kevin Harts.
Yeah.
Is he in the black section of the crowd? That's what it seems like. They moved up to the middle. Progress. I like it.
I've always kind of been slightly dubious of a comedy competition, though.
You don't have any confidence.
No.
You can't get up there and just...
I always give the same. Mine is all area codes. They go, what's your phone number? I'm like, 323-818-2125.
We've never taken a break in the middle of a guest.
I know. I had all this momentum going. Now I got to start all over again. Go ahead. Go to the card. See this? We won game 1. Here comes the second of the doubleheader. Conspiracy theory has gotten a bad name where now it's become synonymous with like moronic thought. Like if you're into conspiracy theory, if you think like the bankers need to be stopped, then you also think the moon is made out of cheese, and you think that there's shifters and like lizard people. You know, they just try to knock it down. It's like this country started with a conspiracy. That's how it came. We won, so they're considered heroes and rebels, you know, whatever, revolutionaries. But if they lost, they would be hanged for conspiring.
Like, did we really win? But I understand what you're saying. Now,
is that African American thing?
Yeah.
Or whatever, incognito. You're an enigma.
What, because I make a pie? No, you know what it is? You're not a good listener. You've known me for 10 years. You have no idea who I am. It's all about comedy with you and moving up the ladder and pushing people
Now, are you getting out of an existing house?
No, I'm going from a one-bedroom apartment. And then he knew I needed the money. Then he'd call me up and he'd be like, Billy, Scott Bass. That was my agent. Scott Bass calling. I know you said you're not going to do this, but I do have a nooner. I'm going to build around it. And, you know, by then I'd be at home. And I cooled off. It was a couple weeks later from being on the road. And the rent was coming. I needed the money. And he would be like, all right, it's going to pay $700. It's like in the middle of Iowa for $700, all inclusive.